Be honest. How many unfinished manuscripts do you have on your hard drive right now? 1, 5, 10? And if you're sick and tired of writing the same chapter over and over and over again, this video is for you. Today, we're getting honest about why so many kingdom writers keep starting books they never finish, and what to do to get your book back on track right now today. Hey y'all, welcome to today's Live with Lisa. If you're new here, my name is Lisa, and I create videos that help you learn how to write and live God's way. If you want to honor God with both your life and your writing, this is the place for you. We also partner with an amazing ministry called Our Given Purpose Ministries, which helps you grow in your walk with God. So make sure you get connected with them as well. So I want to describe 2 different scenarios for you today. And I want you to think about which one you would rather fall into. In scenario number 1, here's what happens. You come home after a long day of work and weeks of procrastinating, and you finally sit down to write. You're exhausted, you're overwhelmed, and your brain feels like mush. You sit there for a couple of hours and you try to put the perfect words together on the page, but you keep getting up to do other things. You keep getting interrupted. Maybe the phone rings, or you have to check email. Maybe your spouse needs something, or your child needs something, or your brain wanders, your mind wanders, and you start to scroll on your phone randomly. Hours go by, and eventually you finally just give up and put off writing for yet another day, and only to go through the same cycle all over again weeks or months later. That's scenario number 1. In scenario number 2, similar situation. You come home from work after a long day, but this time you sit down at your desk and you set a timer for 30 minutes after you get off work. Your spouse and your children don't come and interrupt you because you've already planned and talked with your spouse about setting aside this 30 minutes of writing time. And so your spouse talks to your children, and they are watching them, and they have agreed that you won't be disturbed during this time. You take a few minutes to pray and then put on some worship music and get started. You already know what word count you want to hit for the day, what your goal is going to be. And it might take you a few minutes to get into the groove of writing, but that's okay. You just start typing anyway, whatever words to come to mind, even if it's something as simple as, I don't know what to say yet. You type it anyway. The goal is quantity rather than quality. So you are just typing, and by the end of the 30 minutes, you've gotten into a flow, and you actually have a few pages worth of content. Now, most of it probably isn't that great, but some of it is. Some of it is some gems, and you're actually looking forward to the next day of writing that you already have planned on your schedule. Which one of these 2 scenarios is most appealing to you? I probably don't have to ask, many of you, you probably already know that one stands out. But the question is why? What's the difference between these 2 scenarios that I've just described? And why is it that so many writers, unfortunately, end up with that first scenario where they're frustrated, overwhelmed, and just staring at a blank document at the end of the day? How does that happen? There's 3 factors that I want to point out to you that I believe create the difference between scenario number 1, which isn't so great, and scenario number 2, which is a lot better. Factor number 1 is writing without a plan. writing without a plan. In scenario number one, you don't have a writing routine. You're just trying to write whenever you can. You're trying to squeeze it in to an already packed schedule. And so you're just kind of making things up as you go. When you sit down to write, you don't know what you're going to write about. You're not sure where to start, and you don't know what your goal is. You don't know where you're trying to get to at the end of your writing session. You may not know what days of the week that you'll be writing on or how long. You just want to fit in writing wherever you can. But in scenario two, all of those things are known ahead of time. You know when you want to write, you know how long you want to write, and you know what you'll be writing about and why. You're in control and you have a plan. That's the first factor. Let's go into the comments to see if there's anyone that can relate to this. Okay, not writing, no comments yet. Let's keep going. So factor number two for why, what's the difference between writers who finish their work and ones who don't? Factor number two, unrealistic expectations. Unrealistic expectations. In scenario number one, you're trying to do everything. You're writing for hours straight, or trying to anyway, every day, and you're chasing perfection when you do it. The goal for you is, in that scenario, is to sit down and to get as much writing done as possible at any given time. At any stretch that you have some extra time, you want to just sit down and get as much done as you possibly can. And you're trying to get the writing to be as perfect as possible. So many times you're editing as you go. This is a huge common mistake that many writers make in the writing process. In scenario number two, though, you give yourself a realistic time to write every day, and you stick with it. And it probably isn't every single day, but you plan ahead. And you, as we talked about in factor number one, when you're writing without a plan, you don't know when you're going to write. It's just whenever you can fit it in. But in this aspect of it, you have realistic expectations as well. So you understand that the goal is quantity of words, not quality. When you're drafting, especially, you're just trying to get the words out. You're not trying to overthink every word and every part of the writing process. And you understand that that is actually more realistic to do it that way. You scheduled writing around your life instead of trying to force it into one place wherever you can make it fit. Okay, so that's the second factor that causes a lot of writers not to finish their books, is that they have unrealistic expectations. They're trying to make writing work instead of looking for ways to make writing work effectively. And the third factor, and this is a big one, is for writers, a lot of writers have the wrong mindset. In scenario number one, that first scenario that we talked about, you're writing in survival mode. You're trying to write when you're overwhelmed, you're exhausted, and you're just trying to make things up as you go along. You're not sure what you want to do, how you want to do it, or why you want to do it. There's no strategy. There's no intentionality. It's just all about what you can do in the time you have, and just trying, you're being reactive as opposed to being proactive. And so in scenario number two, you're clear about your purpose, you're clear about your message, and you're clear about your audience. All of those things are already planned and aligned because you've thought about them ahead of time. You're not reacting, you're proactive, you're in control, and you know what you're trying to accomplish. And so a lot of times, just those factors alone make it possible for you to have an environment that's in many ways conducive to writing. A lot of the work that you've done is work that's been done ahead of time, ahead of the actual writing process. And so the question is, now that we've had this, we've laid out these two scenarios, which one is more appealing to you? Do you find yourself being more like the writer in scenario one, where you're just frantically trying to figure things out as you go along? Do you feel like your writing process is out of control? Do you feel like you're scrambling and just trying to keep your head above water? And when you're in the flow, when you're motivated, the motivation is there, but when it's not, it's really not. How many of you can relate to that? And then with scenario number 2, how many of you are operating there where you have the plan, the strategy, you're in the right mindset, you know what you want to do and how you want to accomplish it, and you know why you want to accomplish it in your writing process and your writing time. You may not write every day, but your writing is purposeful. You have an idea of how you're going to get where you want to go. You know the destination, and more importantly, you have the path that's going to get you there. Many of us want to be in scenario number 2, but we don't know what that looks like. We don't know how to get there. And so I am going to be releasing a resource later this year that I believe will help you get from scenario 1 to scenario 2, which is where we all want to be as writers. So if you are looking to get to that place where you don't know why you don't finish your work and you don't know what it is that you need, I think this can help you. So I'm going to be releasing that resource later this year to give you practical advice to take you through every step of the writing journey. You won't have to guess. You won't have to wonder about what the next step is, because it's a strategy that will walk you through every phase of the writing process. And not only that, but you can click the link in the description to learn more about this resource right away. You'll be able to find out more about what will be included in it and how it will walk you through the different steps of the writing process. And you'll also be able to download a free masterclass that I have created especially for you if you are struggling with your writing process right now and you want to avoid the mistakes that we talked about today. If you want to avoid being in that first scenario that we talked about where you're overworked, overwhelmed, distracted, and can't seem to move forward with your manuscript, this resource will help you. So my free masterclass will be able to help you with that. So make sure you click the link in the description to download that today and to get on the wait list to find out about the new resource that I will have for you that will be coming out later on this year. So I hope that this helped you today. I hope that it gave you an idea of what to look for in the writing process and where you might be in terms of your own writing process. If you're struggling, that's okay. I've created resources that will help you and that will walk you through the process. So I hope you get plugged into those. And also that you stay tuned here on Live with Lisa, where we talk about kingdom writing and how to write and live God's way. So again, make sure you stay tuned for that new resource that'll be coming out soon. Make sure you learn more about to get on the wait list for that, and that you also download the free masterclass that will help you avoid the most common mistakes in the writing process. So that is it for today. Once again, my name is Lisa. This has been Live with Lisa, and I will see you in the next live stream. Until next time, take care, God bless, and happy writing, y'all.